The Go Higher podcast is presented by the High Program of Wayne State University. The High Program, helping individuals go higher. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Go Higher podcast, where we take on the tough and relevant subjects in everyone's day-to-day lives and provide insight on how to respond, resolve, and re-inspire yourself and those around you. Let me start this podcast by asking you a few important questions. How many of you listening are actively looking for a job? How many of you are looking to expand your social and career circles? We all know that in the past few years alone, the tools we use to navigate our social and business circles have evolved into a world of their own. For millennials and Gen Zers, the world has revolved around the internet and our increasing digital connection for most of their lives. These generations have come to realize a few things. The economic, career, and networking models of their parents are a thing of the past. You can no longer mindlessly send out your resume and cover letter to business after business without bothering to send a follow-up email or even research the company itself. We have to start learning how to properly network in an age where we're all expected to have a social media presence. Ding ding, that sound means it's time to discuss the keyword of the day. Today's word is networking. Networking, a process both in person and online that promotes the exchange of information, ideas, and opinions among individuals or groups with common interests. And now we're going to look at a testimonial from a recipient of funds from the High Program and what it's meant to somebody who needed it. Life took an unexpected turn, and as a result, it became burdened with many responsibilities all at once. This made it difficult to keep up with financial obligations for school. The light at the end of the tunnel began to go dim for me. Because I felt like I was out of resources. The High Program helped me to see otherwise. With the assistance from the program, my load became less heavy. I'm now able to stay on track to graduate and can now register for my final semester here at Wayne State. Thank you to the team behind the name. It's so difficult to put my full gratitude into words. Thank you. Exactly how do we navigate social and career circles in an age when we're all expected to have an online presence? How do we utilize social media to help us get the jobs that we need and join social circles that we want? The very thought of networking in person or online can make a lot of people cringe or break out in a cold sweat. Networking is tedious and it can often feel artificial if you're not used to marketing yourself and your skills. After a long day of work or school, the last thing a lot of people want to do is spend all night applying for jobs with no guarantee of any connections being made from it. Or going to work and school events in the hopes to talk to that one person that could give you your big chance. Networking doesn't just have to feel like you're selling yourself out. At its core, networking is a way to develop long-term, mutually beneficial relationships with people. At the end of the day, whether it feels calculated or not, it's something we all need to do. This podcast will explore the benefits of networking and how to utilize the social media site LinkedIn to start expanding your social and career circles. It can really be so simple to start making connections and building your future. There's never been a time where people better understand the importance of having a digital presence. We spend a huge portion of our time cultivating an online brand of our own. Whether it's our social lives, our career circles, we know that the best way to market ourselves and to get noticed is to have an online presence. One of the best social networking sites for people to start developing their careers is LinkedIn. I'm assuming most of you know what LinkedIn is, but just in case, here's a summary. LinkedIn is a social networking site that helps people market themselves to find a new job, make business connections, and stay up to date on what everyone's been talking about in their current or desired career fields. LinkedIn is for everyone, from college students looking for internships and volunteer work, to CEOs and new business owners who want to trade advice, make new partners, and expand their business networks. To put it simply, LinkedIn is like Facebook for professionals. It's not enough just to meet people through work, school, or life in general, and hope that their word of mouth alone will get you connections. It is critical that in today's digital age, we start applying ourselves through social media to develop our careers. For the remainder of this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about the reasons why you should be on LinkedIn, and all the best tips for using it to promote yourself to employers and coworkers. 1. Businesses expect you to have one. If you've applied for any jobs recently, you may have noticed that you were given the option to link your LinkedIn profile to the prospective company's database. Even some of the most old school companies are realizing how beneficial it can be to put a name to a face in a potential candidate. Having a LinkedIn shows employers that you are serious about your career, making connections, and having confidence to market your talents. If nothing else, it shows that you are moderately computer savvy and are up to date on the industry. 2. Develop a personal brand. When most employers are looking to narrow down interviewees, one of the first things they do is look up your social media accounts. Employers want to utilize social media to help them get an idea of who people are before they ever step into the building for an interview. This is also the time for me to say, please start putting your social media accounts on private. If you don't have a LinkedIn, are you comfortable with a prospective employer looking at your Twitter or Instagram? Creating a LinkedIn allows you to take better control of how employers will view you. So don't let people make too broad of an assumption about you. Use LinkedIn to have a greater hand in tailoring how you come across to career connections. 3. Display your work. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, in finance, in marketing, food services. Everyone has done projects or mastered a skill that they're proud of showing off. LinkedIn allows you to use your profile as a personal website of sorts, where you can link documents, pictures, and videos of your work to employers and other connections. If you do have a personal website, link that too. Even if you just link your resume, LinkedIn helps you keep all of your important career information in one easy-to-spot place for fellow professionals to look at. 4. Get recommendations. When you make connections on LinkedIn, which are essentially friend requests, any of those connections can have the option to recommend you. A recommendation on LinkedIn will show up on your profile page for all users to see. It's a great way to show other professionals that you are experienced and you have people who will support your skills and ethics. LinkedIn recommendations work far better than the old school recommendations section on a resume. By using LinkedIn, employers can see exactly who your recommendations are by going to their profiles. 5. Seeking connections. This seems obvious, but making connections on LinkedIn is what the site is all about. When you first sign up, you will be given the option to connect to recommended connections or search for your own to get you started. Based on the information you have on your profile and email account, the site will provide you with immediate connections from your current work, school, and social life. After creating a LinkedIn, you have the option to search for as many connections as you want. LinkedIn makes it very easy. Whether you search for a person, a company, or an institution, the site will always link all of the connections from that search for you, giving you the option to constantly expand your career and social circle. You never know who will accept your connection request, from newly on the job market to CEOs and business owners. You have the option to reach out to anyone. 6. Land a new job. Currently, there are over 26 million companies on LinkedIn and 15 million active job postings. Looking for jobs on LinkedIn is extremely easy, and it's as easy as typing in a few keywords into the search engine. On every company's profile page is a link to all the current open jobs that they have posted. You have the option to save jobs for later or apply for them immediately by linking your profile and resume. LinkedIn also has a recommended job section based on the current information listed on your profile, like your interests, skills, current job, and education. Quick tip, when you list your work experience on your profile, make sure it's listed from most recent to oldest, as employers will want to see first what you're doing now. If you're worried about your lack of work experience, don't worry, you're not alone. As someone who's actively trying to get a foothold in my desired career industry, I know how awful it can be, but you owe it to yourself to let employers know how great of an employee you can be, even without a lot of experience. So don't let your lack of experience get you down or turn you away from applying to great opportunities. Even more than that, don't assume because you have less experience than others that you don't have a lot of talent to bring to a position. Finding work experience for an entry-level job can be a cyclical nightmare of needing work for experience and needing experience to find work. Work experience is not the only thing that employers on LinkedIn are looking for, however. Many employers are looking to see what you do outside of your job and school. LinkedIn is an amazing tool for networking in the digital age. Despite it being easy to use, I know that there are still so many of us who hate the tediousness of networking. When you're a recent graduate, or maybe you've been out of school for a while and need a career change, taking the time to craft connections with people can feel like you're wasting precious time. However, taking the time to network within your desired field and with anybody you meet, it could be the difference between a dead-end job and career search, or a connection that leads to a new career and an exciting opportunity. Don't rush the process of building a life for yourself. Take your time, make connections, and remember that the energy you put into those relationships will come back to reward you. So relax, enjoy the ride, and if you have any questions regarding networking, hit up the High Program social media account at WSU High Program on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to leave a comment. Thanks for listening, everybody.
College College can be difficult, but for some students, financial issues can make things impossible. The HIGH program at Wayne State University provides critical funds to students who are having major issues with basic needs like tuition, books, housing, and food. It's amazing, but just a few $100s at the right time can save a student from dropping out of school or being homeless. Students should not have to decide between basic life necessities and finishing their education. The HIGH program has connected hundreds of students with their basic needs and provided a light at the end of the tunnel for what amounts to the most difficult period of their young lives. If you would like to help, donations of any amount are welcome, and you can find all of our information at highprogram.wayne.edu.